So, one sign that you may be the chosen one of your family is you are the black sheep of your family. And you've been the black sheep since you were a child, okay? Growing up, people have always outcasted you in your family. They have always made you feel unwelcomed. And you may have had a few family members that genuinely loved you and embraced you, but for the most part, even as a child, adults hated you. Imagine that. Imagine having adults in your family hate on you even as a child, okay? You didn't do anything wrong. It's just the fact that something about you was always different. Something was always different about you. You were a special child and you still are special.
My grandmother had the ability to look at somebody and read their star. So there are people in families who just look at you and know your destiny. And if they are not of God, they start fighting you without a cause. So you're wondering, why do all my uncles and aunties hate me? I've not done anything. Why is everything about me bad? Everybody else is good apart from me. And you're not harming anybody. You're just living your life, but everybody is involved in your life. It's because there is a star on your life. There is a star. A star symbolizes destiny. When the enemy looks at you, he is able to read the star. In the Bible, you see the three wise men. The three wise men were called the Magi, meaning the magicians. They can go and study and read and know that a star has been born and locate the star and follow it. So even in the time of Jesus, when Jesus was born, the three wise men, the wise men, the people who know the spiritual things, the people who understand that life is spiritual, were able to notice that a king has been born. And they did not even just stop at noticing, they took another step. They followed the star. So what happens is, once you're born and you have a bright destiny, the enemy notices and he does not stop at noticing, he starts following you. If you read in the Bible, they went to King Herod. And King Herod also, on hearing that a king has been born, their words he told them, he said that go and find him. When you find him, come back and direct me where the baby is so that I may also go and worship him. But in the actual sense, he was not interested in worshiping Jesus. He wanted to kill him.
So you may have been a child that was very opinionated, very bold, very fearless, outspoken. You had no issues calling things out, even as a child, right? So adults hated you because of that, because you would say the quiet part out loud, and they didn't like that about you. You're supposed to fall in line with the rest of the family. That's why they have a problem with you. You're not falling in line. You're not becoming a puppet like everybody in the family. So there was always something different about you, from how you think, how you operate, how you view the world, how you articulate yourself, how you interpret certain things. You just always saw things differently than everybody else, right? So there will be people who will embrace that about you. There will be people who will love that about you, but you also got to deal with the people who hate you because of that. So you may have had a situation in the family where you called something out that was wrong, right? You was calling out bad behavior and they made you feel bad because of that. They questioned you because of that. They made it seem like you were making certain things up when you wasn't, right? It's almost like a cult. Like that's how a cult operates. Everybody needs to be in line. Everybody got to be on one accord. Everybody has to be a puppet, okay? And there's that one person that may say, you know what? No, I am going to call this out. You know what? I don't agree with that. You know what? I think that's wrong. I don't think you should do that. I don't think you should talk to that person like that. Whatever it is, whatever it is, the fact that you are not falling in line is a problem. So there may be certain things in your family that has been passed down from generation to generation, right? Whatever it is, it could be a certain way of thinking. It could be idolatry. And the fact that you're not passing it down will always be a problem. So you will deal with spiritual warfare because you are the chosen one of your family and you're the one that's putting a stop to certain generational curses. God has chosen you to be different. He has chosen you for a certain assignment. He has called you, he has picked you, okay, to be the chosen one of the family. So there are certain things that you're going to deal with where, listen, you got to put your armor on because it's not going to be easy. It may be 1 against 10, and you got to be able to stand strong because you are the black sheep. You are called to be different. So moving on to number 2, okay? I think I already said this, but you don't fit in, all right? And because you don't fit in, you will oftentimes get bullied a lot, all right? Even outside of your family, you deal with this. You're not going to fit in the world. You're not going to fit in at the job. You're not going to fit in at school, okay? You're not going to fit in if you go out the country. Like, you're not going to fit in. So you might as well just embrace that, accept it. That's not part of your calling. Part of your calling is not meant to fit in. When you are the black sheep, just take fitting in out of your mind because it's not going to happen. Okay, it's not going to happen. It's not supposed to. It's not part of being the chosen one of your family. You will not fit in. And it doesn't mean that you don't love your family. It doesn't mean that you may not talk to them every now and then. So if you are around your family, you do what you need to do. You see who you need to see, chop it up or whatever, and you withdraw and you go about your business. So you will never fit in, okay? And not fitting in doesn't mean that you will never mingle with people. You're still able to navigate in this world, but you're just not going to fit in. So another sign is that most likely you are the generational curse breaker. And I mentioned this earlier on. You are called to break certain generational curses in your family. Why do you think certain things in your life seem so hard? Why do you think that the spiritual warfare is so intense? Not saying that everybody else don't deal with spiritual warfare. So there will be times where things may not be easy. You have to keep on fighting when you are the chosen one in your family, okay? You're the one that's going to bless the future generations to come. That's why you're the generational curse breaker. Everybody else in your family couldn't do it, right? Everybody else in your family fell in line. Everybody else just became a puppet and just decided to do what everybody else was doing. Nobody questioned anything. Nobody decided to be different, right? Everybody was just programmed to think one way and do things one way until the chosen one of the family came along, which is you. So you also have to be willing to walk in this call. If you are willing to accept the fact that you are the chosen one of your family, you have to be willing to accept everything that comes with it, the good and the bad. Another sign that you are the chosen one of your family is that you either are the first or one of the very first people in your family to give your life to Christ. The minute you say yes to Christ and you give your life to the Lord, just be prepared. There is no being the chosen one in your family without Christ. I'm just going to be straight up. Okay. Life is spiritual. Things happen in the spiritual first before it happens in the natural. And you have people who are glorifying being the so-called chosen one, right? Listen, when you are truly called to be the chosen one, especially in your family, you know that it's nothing to celebrate. Not saying not to embrace it. I don't know anybody that's truly called to be the chosen one who is so excited about it because it comes with its challenges and you got to be equipped for that spiritually. The average person would give up. They would say, you know, this is too much. Like, I'm constantly encountering envious people. Why is that? Or I'm constantly attracting narcissistic people. Why is that? Right? Like what is it? And then you start to blame yourself. You start to question yourself. You start to think that something is wrong with you. It's what's in you is the problem for them. That's the problem. So listen, the enemy will try everything in his power to have you get discouraged and to have you give up, right? But you have to keep on fighting. You're on assignment. His agents are on assignment. He places his agents in certain places. The same way you have to be the light, Satan does the same thing. It's a spiritual war. So this is why I say there is no being the chosen one if you don't have Christ. You need Christ. It's a spiritual war. It's light versus dark, good versus evil. So how are you going to fight when you ain't got your armor? How are you going to fight when you ain't got your spiritual sword? You need the word of God to charge you up, to encourage you, to give you power to keep on fighting. And this is not to say that everything that you deal with in life will always be bad. No, you will have good moments too. You will have favor, you will have blessings, doors will open for you. So, number 5, growing up, people may have always told you that you're an old soul and you're ahead of your time, and, questioned, how did you know certain things at such a young age? Like, how are you able to have wisdom at such a young age? Like, there were certain things that you shouldn't have known, but because you have certain gifts, you were able to pick up on certain things at an early age. And going back to what I said previously, this is why a lot of adults in your family did not like you. This is why you got bullied in your family. This is why they did outcast you, is because you were able to see certain things as a child. You were able to catch certain things as a child, even certain things that adults couldn't figure out, right? But you were able to figure it out. So you were always told that you're an old soul and that you're ahead of your time. And you may have had encounters with strangers who felt comfortable enough to tell you pretty much all of their business, right? They start telling you their whole life, right? It's because they feel safe with you. They feel a sense of peace and comfort. They feel like they trust you, right? You don't know this person. You've never met them before, but it's something about your spirit that gives them a sense of peace. Okay, so moving along to number 6, you are pretty much a loner in life. You don't have many friends, and most likely you're a loner because of all the things that comes with your assignment and being the chosen one in your family, right? And a lot of people can't deal with that. A lot of people won't accept this call on your life. But if you do have people who accept you for who you are and the call on your life, and they love you genuinely, hold on to those people, right? You have some people out here who are spreading just be by yourself and don't talk to nobody, like, type of message. Listen, no, it's good having community. It's good having people in your corner. You will need people in your life with good influence. I'm not saying for you to allow any type of person in your life. No, you have to test people's spirit and use discernment and make sure you guys are pouring into each other. And it's not just one person pouring into the other person. All right. Iron sharpens iron. A lot of people sometimes won't actually take the time to understand you. A lot of people will misjudge you. A lot of people will create false narratives about you. And that causes you to withdraw from the world at times. It causes you to isolate because you feel like you're constantly being misunderstood. And sometimes that's not always healthy, because too much isolation can cause depression. It can cause anxiety and fear, bitterness, and even hatred towards other people. So you feel like you have to isolate because of the heaviness of it all, right? And it is heavy. It's heavy, and you need time alone. You need time by yourself to literally recharge. Even Jesus himself had to go to the wilderness at times by himself. He would separate himself from his friends, separate himself from everyone, and go by himself. So make sure you're using the alone time and isolation time wisely, right? If you use it wisely and you spend time with the Lord, you'll feel a boost of energy. You will feel a boost of confidence. You'll feel recharged. So another sign is that people in your family are always jealous and envious of you. Even on the outside, you always deal with the jealousy and envy. It's one of those things where it seems like you can't escape it. No matter where you go, no matter where you are, someone is envious of you. Somebody got a problem with you. You have family members who literally would want to fight you because of how envious they are. But when it comes to family, it kind of stings a little bit more because, some people feel like, well, this is family, we're blood, so how can you be jealous of me? And, I made a video about how I don't think that blood is thicker than water, because sometimes your worst enemies are people in your family. Some people, they think that if a person is labeled a family member, that this is somebody I can trust. that this is somebody that will never hurt me, right? Or be jealous or envious of me. And that's just not true. Once I just started looking at my family members as people first and not family, then it changed my mindset. And it kind of prevented me from being so disappointed at times. Because at the end of the day, they are just people, okay? People do things that you don't agree with. People hurt people. People can be untrustworthy. People get jealous. People get envious. People have hatred in their heart. Like, people will do things that you don't agree with. You will most likely deal with jealousy and envy in your family when you are the chosen one. And it could be over anything. Okay, literally anything. The fact that you got a new home, the fact that you just got married, the fact that you just got a new car. So lastly, when you are the chosen one in your family, you will notice that your children will be highly gifted and highly intelligent children. This is why you are called to be the generational curse breaker. They will have a specific calling on their life as well. The ones that will be born into the family will carry the torch. You will pass the torch to them. That's why the assignment is on your life, because you will teach your children. It's about planting the seeds in them. We're so full of ourselves sometimes. We think, man, this is about me. Lord, why me, 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 me? And it ain't even about you. Your gifts ain't even just for you. It's to help others. So planting those seeds is what's important, because those little ones will pass it on. Do you think the enemy wants that? You think he wants little versions of you? Think about that. You're already a problem. You think he wants little versions of you that will eventually grow up to be adults, God willing? You think he wants that? You think he wants more soldiers? That's why he'll use people like your family to come against you. Why do you think he has people in your family who are trying to assassinate your character? Why do you think he has his agents in your family who are witches and warlocks? So understand that what you're dealing with is nothing small. There's a bigger picture. It's for a bigger purpose.